we have a cool lady, y'all. I'm about to buy these high-ass oysters.
Get the
We
big
about
one,
to try them. They both big as fuck.
Nah, get that one. That one's real big.
I'm like, spit it out.
It's 4:35 in the morning. Ron Mar Drive, Alexandria, Louisiana. The neighborhood is asleep. And then, shots fired. Neighbors wake up. Somebody calls 911. And when the Alexandria Police Department arrives at the 5900 block of Ron Mar Drive and pushes open that front door, they find two people, both gone. The thing is, just hours earlier, this couple had been posting online, smiling, laughing, living their best life in front of the world. For 3 years, hundreds of thousands of people watched this man show off his wife like she was the greatest thing that had ever happened to him. And maybe she was. But here's the question nobody is asking. If the love was real, why did it end like this? And more importantly, were the signs there the whole time? Because I went back and watched the videos, and what I saw, I can't unsee it. Stay with me. Welcome to Viral True Crime Stories, where we share true crime stories based on real events that deserve to be told. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you never miss a new story. Before we talk about what happened on March 30th, 2025, you need to know who Chhaterica Smith was. Not as a victim, as a person. Because the way this story ends does not define who she was. And I need you to hold on to that. Chhaterica was born on November 9th, 1986, in Alexandria, Louisiana. Her mother, Terica Smith, raised her. And from everything people who knew her have said, Terry was steady, strong, the kind of mother who shapes the kind of woman Chhaterica grew up to become. She went by Terica to the people closest to her. She started at Peabody Magnet High School in 2001, graduated in 2005, and after that, she got to work building a life on her own terms. By 2012, she was working at Moneyland.biz, building her career and her independence at the same time. She also ran her own tax preparation business called Max Tax, handling clients, managing her books, doing it all. And she had 2 children, a daughter and a son, who were everything to her. I mean that literally. On the very morning of March 30th, 2025, hours before everything fell apart, she posted this. I love spoiling my kids. If they want it and I can get it, it's theirs. I don't care. That was the last thing she posted. A mother, talking about her babies. Chhaterica had a whole personality that came through in everything she did. Fashion was her thing. She posted about it, showed it off, made no apologies for how she moved through the world. She was social. She was outgoing. She was confident in a way that you could feel, even through a screen. She'd been in a relationship before Tracy that gave her those 2 kids. It didn't last, but they co-parented, and she kept going. She kept building. She wasn't sitting around waiting for someone to complete her. She was complete. And then she met Tracy Johnson. Before I keep going, I need you to do something right now. Think about the women in your life, your sister, your best friend, your daughter, somebody who is in a relationship that looks perfect on the outside. Now ask yourself honestly, do you actually know what's happening behind closed doors? Because the people in Chhaterica's life thought they knew too. If this channel has ever made you look twice at a relationship, yours or someone you love, hit that subscribe button right now. Because stories like this one, we cover them every week. And one day, the warning signs we break down on this channel might be the exact ones that save somebody's life. Don't wait until it's too late. Tracy Johnson was also from Alexandria. He went by the nickname Tricky T. And listen, Tracy was a lot of things. He called himself a jack of all trades and master of almost all. Barber, cook, painter, handyman. He even dabbled in rap music at some point. There was no confirmed steady job or clear career path, just a rotating list of things he could do. But when Tracy first came into Chhaterica's life, he was everything. He was attentive, affectionate. He surprised her with gifts, a 10-carat diamond piece from Jared's, spa treatments, a trip to Puerto Rico, date nights. He cooked for her, he pampered her. And this woman, who was already whole, already built, already standing on her own 2 feet, opened her heart back up. I think about that a lot. She wasn't desperate, she wasn't lost. She was a grown woman with a career, a business, and 2 children who chose to love someone new. That matters.
Tuesday, we wear white. Bring your rowdy, proud, loud energy and all your white gear. Need white man swag? We got
Yeah, of course.
My wife, she had her goggles on. Goggles.
They got married on April 16th, 2022. Beautiful ceremony, picture perfect. And from that point on, their lives became very, very public.
You got a video?
All right, bro.
Tracy started posting constantly, and I mean constantly, every date, every kiss, every mundane Tuesday afternoon. He documented everything. He had this line he used in almost every single video. Man, look at my beautiful wife. Over and over and over again. People online ate it up. They called them couple goals. They wanted what Tracy and Chhaterica seemed to have. Women were showing these videos to their husbands. Men were getting tagged. The comment sections were full of people saying they were relationship inspiration.
You're leaving tomorrow, huh? Still take a picture of my car next time you guys.
Coco.
Okay.
A long flight, so.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Tracy was always the one behind the camera, always the one narrating, always the one deciding what got shown and how it got framed. Think about that. For 3 years, hundreds of thousands of people saw their relationship entirely through Tracy's lens. Literally, through his camera, through his edits, through his descriptions. What if what people were falling in love with wasn't actually their relationship? What if it was just his version of it? Because there's this one video, Tracy is talking about Chhaterica going out with her girlfriends. And instead of just saying, yeah, she went out with her friends and had a great time, he frames it differently. He says he gave her permission to go. His words. My wife was like, "Bae, can I go step out, have a few drinks with the young ladies, the girls?" I said, "Be you goddamn right." I said, "You tell them one thing, that you taken and you mother spoken for." Now, I want you to sit with that for a second. This is a 38-year-old woman, a business owner, a mother, a grown adult who has been running her own life for decades. And her husband is on social media telling his followers that he allowed her to go out. And not just allowed her, but instructed her on what to say when she got there. Was that love? Or was that ownership dressed up in romance? I'll let you decide, but keep that question in your mind because it becomes more important as this story goes on. Stop for a second. I know we're about some minutes in, and I know some of you are probably thinking, okay, so a controlling husband, we've heard this before. But what I'm about to show you is different, because the signs were hiding in plain sight, right there in the videos that people were calling relationship goals. And by the time you see what I see, You're going to go back and watch those clips completely differently. Stay with me. This next part is the part that actually breaks your heart. By 2025, something had shifted, and you could see it if you paid attention. Chhaterica started posting content that was just her. Solo photos, girls' trips, nights out with friends. She was stepping back into her own identity. Now, some people saw that as normal. Marriage evolves, people need their own space. But I think it was more than that. I think Chhaterica was quietly reminding herself, and maybe quietly telling the world, that she was still her own person. In late February 2025, she shared a post, and this post says everything. She wrote, "One thing about it, when you are a dominant woman, headstrong and got high confidence, a person gon' try his hardest to humble you or dumb you down. See, it be them women who are unsure of themselves with low self-esteem that be gassing these people up and making them feel bigger than the program. But when it comes to me, I will not be having that. If not me, then who? There is no one bigger than me. I am going to remind myself every time." Read that again. She's not talking about the world in general. She's talking about something specific, something personal, something she was living through right then. A woman posting that level of declaration, that level of "I will not be reduced" in a marriage that looks perfect online? That's not empowerment content. That's a warning signal. And here's the thing that hits different when you know how the story ends. She posted that 5 weeks before she died. 5 weeks. I need to stop here and ask you something directly. Drop this in the comments right now, and I mean right now. Pause the video and type it. When you read that post she wrote in February, did that sound like a woman asking for help, or a woman who had already decided she was done? Because I've read it 10 times, and I genuinely go back and forth. And I want to know what you think, not what the police report says, not what the social media comments said. What do you think she was trying to tell people? Comment below. I'll be reading every single one. Now go back and watch the videos from around the same time period. Not Tracy. Watch her. There is exhaustion on her face that wasn't there before. A distance in her eyes. She's present in the videos, but she doesn't have the same energy. The smiles are there, but they don't reach all the way. I'm not diagnosing anyone. I'm just telling you what I see. Tracy is still performing for the camera. Still, man, look at my beautiful wife. Still the doting husband role turned all the way up. But she looks tired. According to reports, by 2025, the arguments had become more frequent and more intense. The relationship that looked so perfect online was deteriorating behind closed doors. Tracy apparently struggled with Chhaterica's growing independence, her wanting to go out more, her wanting to just be herself without it being a production or a permission slip. The supportive image he'd shown early in their relationship was fading, and what had started as documenting their love looked more and more like tracking her every move. Now I need to ask you something, and I need you to really think about it. How many people were watching those videos? Thousands, tens of thousands. And in all of those views, in all of those comments calling them goals, in all of that public attention, did anyone see it? Did anyone look at her face and say something? That question is going to sit with me for a long time. Sunday, March 30th, 2025. It's the middle of the night, or really the very early morning, 4:35 a.m. The Alexandria Police Department receives a 911 call. Domestic disturbance involving gunfire, 5900 block of Ron Mar Drive. Officers arrive. They push open the door, and they find Chhaterica Danielle Smith, age 38, gone. Gunshot wound. And in that same house, Tracy Dwayne Johnson Sr., age 42, gone. Apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound.
And an apparent murder-suicide took place Sunday morning, sending shockwaves through the city. Alexandria police say at around 4:30 a.m., they responded to a domestic disturbance in the 5900 block of Ronmar Drive. 2 bodies were discovered upon arrival, 38-year-old Chhaterica Smith and 42-year-old Tracy Johnson.
Authorities say it appears that both died from gunshot wounds, but that Johnson's appeared to be self-inflicted. They are investigating this incident as an apparent murder-suicide. APD asked anyone with information about this incident to contact them at the number on your screen.
According to the official police report, Tracy shot Chhaterica first, then himself. 2 people who, less than 12 hours earlier, were living their lives. She had posted about her kids. He had posted videos. Normal Sunday night, normal life. And then 4:35 a.m. happens. What was said in that house that night, nobody will ever fully know. What pushed things to that point, the exact words, the exact moment, those details died in that room. And that might be the hardest part of this entire story. There is no one to hold accountable. No trial, no testimony, no chance for Chhaterica's family to sit in a courtroom and hear why. Just silence. April 16th, 2025 would have been their 3rd wedding anniversary, just 17 days away. Her last post, the one about spoiling her kids, posted hours before she died. Her children will never get another moment with her. Read that line one more time and tell me it doesn't hit you somewhere deep. I know some of you watching this right now haven't subscribed yet. And honestly, that's your call. But I want you to go to the comments and tell me why. Genuinely. Because every week on this channel, we cover real stories, real people, real warning signs, real patterns that show up again and again in cases like this one. If you choose not to subscribe, I get it. But at least go to the comments and tell me what would have made you hit that button. Or better yet, tell me if you've ever personally witnessed red flags like these in a relationship and stayed quiet about it. Because the comments section right now, it needs your voice. This is the kind of story where your perspective might actually mean something to someone scrolling down there at 2 a.m., wondering if what they're going through is normal. So don't just leave, say something. Now let me tell you about Rashonda, because this part of the story doesn't get talked about enough. Chhaterica had a best friend, a real one. Not the we get brunch sometimes kind, the kind of friend who knows everything, the kind you call at midnight, the kind who shows up. After Chhaterica died, Rashonda wrote a tribute that I think is one of the most heartbreaking things I've read in a long time. She wrote, "Losing you does not feel real, and the pain is deep. It hurts, hits different. You know, this was my real friend, and I do not use that word lightly. You were the kind of friend who made life brighter just by being in it. The laughs, the talks, the hugs that felt like home." Rashonda also mentioned something that I think is important. She said Chhaterica used to call her the FBI, because Rashonda always found out the truth. Always. And in the wake of Chhaterica's death, Rashonda made it clear she was going to use that same energy. She said she was reporting everything she knew to authorities. She called out people, specific people, who had smiled in Chhaterica's face while knowing things they never spoke up about. What things? What did people know? What had people seen or heard that they chose to stay quiet about? Were there people who could have said something earlier and didn't? I genuinely don't know. And that might be the most unsettling part of all of this. Because here's the reality of relationships like this one. The controlling ones. The ones that look perfect online and feel suffocating behind closed doors. Most of the time, the people inside them are the last ones to say they need help. Because they've been made to feel like the problem is them. Like they're too sensitive. Like the love is real and they just need to work through it. And most of the time, the people watching from the outside don't say anything either, because it's not their business, because they don't want to cause drama, because they're not sure. And then one day, a 911 call goes out at 4:35 in the morning, and there's nothing left to say. Here's something I need you to sit with right now. Is there someone in your life, a friend, a cousin, a coworker, who is in a relationship that doesn't feel right to you, something you've noticed but told yourself isn't your place. Rashonda has spent months wishing she had done more, said more, pushed harder. I'm not saying you can prevent everything, but I am saying that sometimes one conversation, one real, honest, uncomfortable conversation changes the outcome. If this story made you think of someone, reach out to them today, not tomorrow, today. And if this channel is the kind of content that makes you pay attention, makes you look closer, makes you a little more aware, subscribe, because that's exactly why we're here. On April 12, 2025, Chhaterica Smith was laid to rest at the Alexandria Convention Center, a service celebrating her life and her legacy. Hundreds of people came to say goodbye to a woman who, by every account from the people who actually knew her, made every room she walked into a little brighter. Her friends refused to let her name fade into the silence. They created something called Terica's Touch, a beauty brand built in her memory. Lashes, raw hair bundles, hats, a soft glam movement, as they describe it, rooted in love and loyalty and her story. On their website, they describe her this way. I'm going to read this slowly because it deserves to be read slowly. Her name was Chhaterica Smith, but to us, she was just Terica. Loyal, gorgeous, soft-spoken but sharp. The kind of woman who loved hard, showed up for everybody, and lit up a room without ever needing the spotlight. And they wrote this: every lash is a blink of her grace. Every bundle of raw hair is a strand of her strength. Every hat we drop is a crown she never got to wear, so we rock it proudly for her. She never got to wear her crown. Her friends are wearing it for her now. On November 9th, 2025, what would have been her 39th birthday, her friends and family gathered to celebrate who she was. Not how she died, who she was. Because she was more than the last 5 minutes of her life. She was a mother who lived for her children, a businesswoman who built something from scratch, a friend who showed up for everybody, a woman who wore fashion like it was armor and confidence like it was a birthright. And somewhere tonight, her 2 children are growing up without her. That's the part I keep coming back to. Not the crime, not the headlines, the kids. Okay, I need to say something before we close out this story, because there's a question that's been hanging over everything I just told you. Did Tracy love her? I've thought about this a lot, and honestly, I think he might have, in his own way. In the way that some people love things they want to possess. In the way that love gets twisted when someone can't tolerate another person having a self that exists outside of them. The gifts were real. The trips were real. The videos were real. But so was the permission. So was the tracking. So was the controlling framing of every public moment. And that's the thing about coercive control. It almost never looks like abuse from the outside. It looks like devotion. It looks like a husband who just really loves his wife. The camera never lies, they say, but the camera can absolutely be used to lie. Most people in abusive relationships never experience a single moment that looks like what we imagine abuse looks like. No black eye, no dramatic blow-up in public, just a slow, quiet erosion of who they are. A permission slip here, a correction there, you need to tell people you're taken, wrapped inside a gift from Jared's. And the person on the receiving end of that, they spend so long trying to figure out if what they're feeling is real, that by the time they know for sure, sometimes it's too late. Chhaterica knew who she was. She wrote it down 5 weeks before she died. She was not going to be humbled. She was not going to be made smaller. And I genuinely believe, that she was in the process of reclaiming herself. The girls' trips, the solo posts, the post about no one being bigger than her, she was coming back to herself. She just ran out of time. Do you think the people watching their videos, the thousands of people calling them couple goals, share any responsibility for what happened? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Every like on those videos, every goals comment, every share, it fed a narrative. It validated a public image that may have made it harder for Chhaterica to leave without feeling like she was tearing apart something the whole internet was invested in. Is that the audience's fault? No, not intentionally. But are we, as consumers of these perfect couple social media accounts, sometimes complicit in the facade? I genuinely don't know the answer, and I think a lot of smart people are going to disagree on this one. So say something. Agree with me, disagree with me, tell me I'm wrong. But whatever you do, don't just scroll past this. And if you're not subscribed yet, and you've watched this far, go back and think about the one moment in this video that hit you the hardest. That moment is exactly why this channel exists. To Chhaterica's children, your mother woke up on her last morning thinking about you. That is the truth. Her last public words were about making sure you had everything you wanted. She loved you more than anything she ever posted about. To her mother Terry, to Rashonda, to everyone who is keeping her name alive through Terica's touch and through every story told about who she really was, thank you. She deserved better than the ending she got. And she deserves to be remembered as the whole, vibrant, complicated, powerful woman she was, not just as a victim. Rest easy, Terica. Thank you for watching this to the very end. I mean that genuinely. These are real people, real families, real pain. And the fact that you stayed, that you cared enough to sit with this story, that matters. If this video made you think about someone you love, reach out to them today. If it made you see something in your own life differently, trust that instinct. Kindly hit subscribe. Hit the bell so you never miss a story. I'll see you in the next episode of Viral True Crime Stories.